Hello again YouTube, this is ShadowWall7312 and today I'm going to do a slight review and show you how I have my setup for the PlayStation 3D display. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to start this from scratch. It's already set up, but I'm going to go ahead and hold down the PS button, the button on the PS3, the power button, until I get my second beep. I get my second beep. Now I have this thing set up so that it automatically turns on the monitor. I'll show you how to do that later. But as you can see, it's grabbed the signal. I'm getting the message. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. And right off the bat, as you can see, this thing has a lot of glare, but I'll get into that later because you don't really notice it once you have everything set up. Now here, when you first go ahead and you connect this thing, as you see, it's set up at 24 inches. Yes, this is a 24-inch monitor, so at 24 inches is fine. Don't bring it up or bring it down or you're going to mess with the 3D effect. So I'm going to go ahead and X and hit OK. I'm going to get the warning. I'm going to go ahead and sit down in front of this thing. So while this is booting up, I'm going to get to the glasses and the 3D. The 3D on this monitor is amazing. It's really good. You have minimum bleeding on the sides. You can see it on the sides just a little bit. The glare goes away once you have color and you're sitting in front of the screen, so you don't really have to worry about that. But the glasses charge at the top, so they're completely rechargeable. Here's the button to sync it right there. And there's also another button on the side that I can't really focus on. You might be able to see it right there where you actually turn the glasses on. Normally I just shut that on and I leave it on and the glasses are just fine. Now here's the thing. The reason why I'm making this video is a lot of people want to know about this monitor. They want to know if they should go out and purchase it. And other people don't know how to set up the monitor because of active shutter glasses. When the active shutter glasses activate, things get really dark. It's kind of like watching 3D through sunglasses. So what you have to do is you have to compensate for that. So let me just go ahead and set up my audio really quickly because I turned it off. So let me go into my sound settings because I have this thing hooked up another way. So I'll turn that on. Alright, I got some audio. So I normally do the digi-op and just set the settings. You'll know why from my last video. That works for some things it doesn't still, but my audio multi is on. Hit OK on that, and OK, I have sound. Now let me talk about the sound. This thing has built-in stereo speakers and a subwoofer, and in my opinion, they suck. I've tried a couple of different settings, didn't really make a difference to me, so I ended up with my external speakers like I had in my last setup, with my basic cable that goes into the PS3, the basic composite cable for the audio. And of course I'm getting full 1080p out of my HDMI cable, which the monitor actually comes with PlayStation brand HDMI cable, high speed, and it's really good. So when you get this thing out of the box, it has no remote control. You have buttons on the back of the system, back of the system that controls everything. But you can, however, set an external remote control to control this bad boy. Now, this is a DirecTV remote. It actually will work with other universal remote controls than it will work with the PlayStation remote controls, the two Blu-ray remote controls that they have. So let me show you how I have my settings set up. This might help for things like darkness in the 3D, ghosting, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the menu, and I'm going to go ahead and right now we're going to look at my settings. My backlight always stays at 10. Picture mode is in custom because it's custom. My brightness stays at 50 by default. This is just by default. Contrast is always at 100. My color is always at 65, which is brought up a little bit. The hue, 0, sharpness, 0. My temperature is cool. I do not like the warm temperature. It just displays a little too much red for me. Now this is what I do. These are my normal settings for this monitor when I'm just playing games in 2D or when I'm watching a movie, whether it be Blu-ray or something else like that. But if you want to get your blacks very rich, I want you to do this also when you first, I should have did this first, but I want you to do this when you first get this thing connected. Make sure your super white, as I said in my other video, is set to on. It's going to give you really bright whites, and make sure your RGB full range HDMI is set to full and not limited. You want it at full. That's going to give you really rich and deep blacks. You want that, because what's going to happen is you're going to have to turn up your brightness when you're playing games, and you're going to have to turn up your brightness when you're watching 3D movies, whether it be an M2TS, and yes, this can play M2TS 3D files. It can also connect to other devices as well. This monitor can connect to a 360 and play 360 games in 3D. I don't know if you want to do that. Or you can actually connect your PC monitor to it. It has 2 HDMI ports, and it has 1 component port for the red, blue, and the green. So now that we have our display settings on the system itself, okay, let's go ahead and get into the settings of the actual monitor. This is what I do when I'm watching a 3D movie. Those glasses are going to get this picture pretty dark. So only thing you have to change is the brightness. Now this is totally opinion. This is totally based on my eyes and what I see. I crank this puppy up to 66 when I'm watching HD, Blu-ray 3D, or just 3D in general, and it really helps compensate. Now, what would have happened if I hadn't brought my color up to 65 is the colors would appear a bit faded and washed out. But with my color set at 65, everything is fine. When I'm playing a game, I crank this puppy up all the way to 75. Don't really normally go past 75, and that compensates for when I'm playing games. It, for some reason, makes the ghosting brought down to a minimum. And you also have in-game settings for each game in 3D where you can change and make sure the brightness is where you want it. But if you don't, by default, you can go ahead and just, well, not by default, you can go ahead and just change the brightness to 75. So again, review: 75 for games, 66 for when I'm watching a movie, and this is for 3D when the active shutter glasses activate. Now, when I'm just watching regular movies, of course, it's brought down to 50. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you, and then I'm going to be done with this video. But I want to ask you guys this. Have you seen any ghosting for you people who have bought this monitor? What are your display settings? Someone out there may have something a bit better than I do, but this is what so far works for me. Go ahead and hit the menu button again. One other thing I want to show you is, if I go over here, as you see, I have a couple 3D movies, and they're side by side. There's a button on the back of the monitor, back here, where you can go ahead and you can change this. It's a 3D button. Right now it's at 3D auto full. If I click it once, it's at 3D side by side for the side by side movies I have, and as soon as you activate the glasses, you'll see the movie turn in 3D. And top to bottom, which is like most 3D televisions. And of course this gives you full stereoscopic 3D. And now back to auto full. Will this work with glasses that are not active shutter glasses? I have not gotten it to work with glasses that are not active shutter glasses. So a small review: this is just for setting this device to where you have optimal viewing experience, less ghosting, and you have the brightness that's good. I got this for $3.99. It was on sale. It was $100 off. It came with 3 games actually. It came with the Ico or the Eco collection that has Eco and Shadow of Colossus. It came with MotorStorm Apocalypse, and it also came with one of the versions of Gran Turismo, which I don't really care about Gran Turismo, so I traded it in. Anyhow, the glasses are fully chargeable. Glasses, I think, are $69.99 unless you can find them cheaper. It works with, I have one of their newer model slim PlayStations. And I guess that's it, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead, shoot me in the comment section or whatever. Subscribe, do what you guys do. And let me know if you have this machine, how you set up your settings, because I love the 3D on this. Do I recommend it? Hell yes, I recommend this monitor. If you got $400 and you're not going to get that Vizio, they have a nice Vizio, but I haven't toyed with that yet, go out and buy this puppy. Bye, guys.